wavy, baby, double O, that been me. Riding around with squad, 2 cars, 10 deep. They see me with the pretty girls, I guess that's why they envy. And if they send shots, hitting niggas catch a semi. Rat-a-tat-tat, shots coming from all angles, leaving niggas scared, his mind all in shambles. I'll be the champ, catch me in the finals. Bet I'll hang a banner up, no star spangled. Fuck you mean, nigga, I could do this on a daily. They see me snapping every week, I guess that's why they hate me. And if you like the winning circle, come fuck with me, baby. And if you wanna start something, I got something crazy. Ocho, Cinco, 85 blunts in Roto. Oh no, I'm higher than the space go. Hey ho, I be too high too.
Smogon University has announced its next round of suspect testing for Oras OU. And it's a Pokemon that has been discussed for a possible suspect before, way back when it was the first few weeks of its release. But now it's actually getting a suspect test, and that is Hoopa-Unbound. Now, when it comes to Hoopa, it's really interesting because I remember when talks of it being suspected were first around, and I didn't really agree with it. When it was first released and it was developing its role in the metagame as mostly a physical or physically based mixed wall breaker, I said, nah, it's not ban-worthy. But now I don't know because, okay, I did a little research on why this suspect test was suddenly happening to a Pokemon that last time I was in the loop with the OU meta wasn't even S rank. It was like A+, I think. It was being discussed even to drop to A. But suddenly it spiked, and I was sure that I was missing something just because I don't play Pokemon all that much nowadays. At least not like in a super competitive way. I'll do a fun shot on live, maybe on lower tiers here or there, but especially not like hardcore OU. I haven't done that in quite a while. So it turns out that the reason this suspect test has come about is because of a new set that has become prominent in the tournament scene, and that is the Choice Spec set. Now, see, I was sort of saying that people were sleeping on Special Hoopa, and I'm not going to take credit for this at all, because the set I was referring to when it was first announced, when the stats were released way back, I was saying, oh shit guys, watch out for Nasty Plot Hoopa, I think he's going to sneak up on you, watch out for Substitute. But even I, who was a big fan, okay, basically what I'm trying to say is that even I, who was a big advocate for Special Hoopa, even I was sleeping on the Choice Spec set, and it turns out it just doesn't have any switch-ins because the combination of Dark Pulse, Focus Blast, and Psyshock basically hits everything. And it even gets stuff like Thunderbolt to eliminate niche counters like, say, Mandibuzz or bulky water types and stuff like that. Especially now that like stuff like AV Torn and Manaphy are defining the metagame. Both Thunderbolt and Psyshock are just huge tools that Choice Specs Hoopa has in particular over the other sets, making it pretty much an unparalleled wall breaker. And a lot of people were giving the same arguments of some previous suspects, is that it limits team building, it limits defensive team building, it limits bulky balance, it limits stall. It's the same stuff from way back when Hoopa was first being released, when they were first calling for bans. For a while it died down a little bit just because people were realizing that Hoopa's very easy to check offensively, and it just wasn't too overwhelming because the physical sets were the more popular ones. And not that the physical sets are bad at all, they're really good. I still think physical mixed is the best set to run, and Choice Specs is like a close second. And that's probably just due to my inexperience. I know somebody's going to type in the comments like, no, Choice Specs is better because this and this. Well, yeah, that's because I haven't really played the OU meta now as much. I wanted to, but then the suspect came around and Hoopa was banned on that ladder. I still don't know why they don't make separate OU ladders so that I can see. I wanted to understand the hype behind Choice Specs Hoopa. Like, I believe it, but I wanted to play on an OU ladder with Hoopa to find out for myself, to decide for myself. But the OU suspect ladder, no Hoopa, and there's no separate ladder where I can play with Hoopa versus other Hoopa. So that's why I'm having such a hard time forming my opinion here and why I'm so on the fence. I feel like if I could play the OU ladder right before the suspect test, I would know. But that still doesn't change that Choice Specs and Physically Mixed are the two best sets. And by no means is the physical set bad now, but Choice Specs was just not discovered yet. It's sort of like the thing with Garchomp, where after a while people discovered Tank Chomp, they discovered Rocky Helmet Chomp. After years of using basically 100% offensive Chomp, either Leech Chomp, Scarf Chomp, even stuff like Sub SD Chomp, were all standard sets that were discovered before Tank Chomp. However, I will say I can't remember another time in recent Pokemon history where it has happened that a Pokemon has been considered healthy for so long after it was introduced, but then the discovery of a set rather than any new additions to the game is what decides whether Hoopa is over the edge, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So it's not like Greninja where suddenly a new set was available due to new moves that Game Freak gave the Pokemon in a new game. No, Hoopa has all of the resources that it's always had, but it's the discovery of a new set through the development of the ORAS meta that has pushed it over the ledge. And I find that really interesting. And it's one of the great things about Pokemon is that even in a somewhat stagnant and static meta like this, that we can still learn new things about how to utilize certain Pokemon. In the end, here I'm going to lean no ban just because, and it's not even for a principled reason, I just don't like bulky, balance, no brains, shitstorms, or stall. See, I'll even respect stall a little bit more because stall takes at least some level of planning and risk weighing to play. Despite what many people will tell you, it's a common meme that stall doesn't take skill to play. No, I'll contest that. I will argue that. I'd say it's more like the really shit-faced, bulky, balanced nonsense that takes no skill to play. You literally just press buttons and switch on, and just make obvious switches to win. Because a lot of times with those teams, if an opposing team cannot pressure you, then you literally do not have to predict. You just stay in on everything, or you don't have to make plays, rather. That's what I was trying to say. You don't have to make plays because your opponent is just unable to pressure you with those really, like, you know what I'm talking about, those Manaphy, Clefable, Scizor, Torrentee, those kinds of teams, Heatran, and just because I don't like that kind of cancer circulating the ladder is why I would keep Hoopa-Unbound, because Hoopa-Unbound devours those teams while still being decently checked by stuff like, Torrentee with its U-turn and Scizor. So it's not like bulky balance can't do anything against Hoopa. I would argue just the opposite sometimes, especially if you're using a choice-locked Hoopa. So really the purpose of this video was to remind maybe those who haven't been in the loop as much, who have lost interest in Pokemon and see this and go, what the fuck, like I did at first. Calm down. There's nuance, there are reasons for this, and that is why, while I am still technically on the fence, I'm leaning no ban, but I realize that there's more nuance to this than just, it can be tricked offensively, so it's not unhealthy. And I'm willing to look past my own biases a little bit in order to desire at least the experience of a metagame without Hoopa and see how it goes. I'll still be playing the Suspect Ladder, by the way. So, yeah, I don't think I have much else to say. What do you guys think about the Hoopa Suspect test? Do you think it should be banned or not? What are your reasons? Are you on the fence? What do you think of the Choice Spec set that has been used in tournaments recently? Go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you all next time.